Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a very exciting video for you guys because Insta360 just released their brand new One RS action camera, and they asked us to be part of the big reveal, which is super exciting. I'm always really stoked when new action camera tech comes out because obviously you guys know I have a lot of POV footage on this channel. I'm always dedicated to bringing you guys the absolute best footage that you can get on a motocross bike. So I was very excited when I got the call from Insta360 to help them announce their brand new action camera. Of course, we got our hands on this thing a couple days early so we could get some testing in, try out all the settings, and that's exactly what we did over the last couple days. We've had some beautiful weather here in March in Michigan, pretty wild, but it just worked out perfectly. We were able to get a bunch of testing in with this new camera. I'm really excited to share all of the cool features with you guys and show you guys what this camera is capable of. And if you guys are unfamiliar with the Insta360 action camera line, what makes these things so cool is that they are modular and all of the pieces are interchangeable. So the camera is broken up into 3 modules. Basically, they have the One RS body module, which this is the brain of the camera. It's what does all of the algorithms, all of the processing and stuff like that. Then you also have the lens modules, which this is what really makes the One RS special, and we'll get into that in a minute. And then there's also the battery module on the bottom. These pieces all come apart and go together really easily. And you might think to yourself that that can make the camera feel a little chintzy, but it really doesn't. When they're all together, they are locked in super snug. You can't twist or pull them apart at all. And then on top of that, they provide you this like exoskeleton for it basically, so that when you're doing high action sports like motocross, you put it inside the case, and that makes sure that none of the pieces can come apart. And the case also has some really cool features, which we'll touch on in a minute. But the interchangeable lens is what's really cool about this camera, because it basically makes it like the Swiss Army knife of cameras. You guys know, if you watch my channel, 360-degree footage is really making its way into the mainstream right now. You can do a lot of really cool point of views with a 360-degree camera that you just simply cannot achieve with any other camera out on the market right now. You can do the whole like floating behind you drone mode, or like a third-person style video. I have an entire video dedicated just to that, and it turned out really sick, and it's just something that you would never be able to achieve with just a standard action camera. But of course, if you've been shopping for a camera, you know that a regular action camera is not cheap, and a 360-degree camera is not cheap. And most people are not gonna drop the cash to buy both. But that's what makes this camera really special, because in the twin package, it not only comes with the standard 4K boost lens, but it also comes with this unit right here. And this is the 360-degree lens. By simply taking 30 seconds and switching out the lenses, your camera goes from being just a regular point and shoot action camera to being a full-on 360-degree camera. Mind blowing, I know. And you must think that there's some trade-off, but I promise you there isn't. When I put the 360-degree lens on this camera, it looks just as good as the Insta360 One X2, which is their dedicated 360-degree camera. It really looks incredible. You can't tell the difference between the two of them. And then when you go ahead and put the 4K boost lens on, it looks just as good as any GoPro that I've ever used. And it comes in at a great price point. So for the One RS twin package, which comes with both of these lenses, it comes in barely more expensive than the standard GoPro Hero 10 just by itself. And then if you wanted the 360 GoPro Max on top of that, you're talking some serious cash. So if you guys have been debating whether you want to get just a standard action camera or a 360-degree camera, you no longer have to make that decision. Insta360 has packed it all into one camera, which is so sick. Now, if you guys already had experience with Insta360's previous version of this camera, the One R, then none of that information is new to you. That was also modular, and you can change out lenses. But what's new about this one is it has an updated processor, so it can process things a lot more quickly. The Wi-Fi is a lot better, so it sends video to your phone much more quickly. The audio is much better. They have 3 microphones now, and the audio is very good. Probably one of the best action camera audios that I've personally used to date, and that's a big one for motocross because you want to be able to hear your dirt bike. It also has a 21% bigger battery, which is always nice. And what's cool about this battery being external is that there's no physical limiter to how big they can make this battery. With other action cameras, the battery goes inside a slot inside the body of the camera, and obviously you have a physical limiter to how big you can make the battery. But if Insta360 wanted to, they could release a battery that, you know, came all the way down to here and would last all day long. So that's very cool. If you're out trail riding for like 5 hours or something, you could potentially get a battery that will last that entire time. And then also new with the One RS is the 4K boost lens, which is the main thing that I'll be focusing on in this video because it's the lens that you guys will probably be using the most if you pick up this camera. Let's take a look at the case though. Really cool design. You've got these two buttons right here, and the side flips up. Camera slides in like so. Door obviously shuts, and then it has like a standard GoPro prong mount on the bottom, so it's universal. It works with all of your GoPro accessories or previous Insta360 accessories, so super heads up thinking there. And what's super rad about this is that you can see on this side, it has this wind reduction screen right over where the microphone is on the camera itself, which completely blocks out all the wind noise when you're actually riding your dirt bike, which is something that you guys say you always struggle with when you're filming with a GoPro or something. You guys always ask me, how do you get rid of the wind noise? Personally, it's never a huge struggle for me, but as you guys will see in a minute, the wind reduction is really, really good on this. And one of the most annoying things about action cameras is that when you have the microphone set to wind reduction, it will switch which microphone it's using, like mid-filming when you're out on the track. And so you guys will get like a very loud bike, and then you turn a corner and the wind hits it and it switches to the back microphone and it just sounds different. It kind of ruins your immersion. But with this wind screen on, you can take it off wind mode so that you can be sure it's using the good microphone all the time, which makes it sound very, very good. The bike is very loud and it just sounds really good. The case also works with the 360-degree lens on, so no worries there. Now there's two main settings with the new One RS camera, and that is flow state and post mode. Flow state is what Insta360 calls their stabilization, and it's very, very good. When you put your camera in flow state mode, it does all of the algorithm and stabilization in-house, which makes it very convenient for going and filming some stuff, sending it right to your phone, and then, you know, uploading it to TikTok or Instagram or all that stuff. So if you don't have a camera or a laptop to edit on, you definitely want to leave it in flow state mode. That way you don't have to do any of the editing post-production. You can just very easily get it uploaded to whatever social media you're uploading it to. Now, of course, for the ease of use, you are giving up a little bit of that creative ability that you have if you set the camera into post mode. Obviously, post standing for post-production. If you have a nice camera and you're uploading to like YouTube or something, you're making a legit video, then you can put the camera in post mode, and after you go and film, you can later import the video into the Insta360 Studio app and kind of mess with the FOV settings after the fact. If you use flow state mode, you don't have that ability, but the flow state mode is very, very good, as you guys are seeing on your screen right now. This is flow state mode with high stabilization, and it looks very, very good. The only thing I will say is it's a little bit of a tight crop. When you use the post mode, you have a little bit more adjustability with the field of view. You can make it a little bit wider, catch a little bit more of the action, but for the most part, the flow state is really, really good. The stabilization is super crispy. I mean, the video was rough this day, and it makes it look like it was completely smooth, which is super good. It just makes it very pleasing to watch, which of course is the most important. So in the clips you guys have seen so far, I had the audio set in the wind reduction mode because I didn't actually realize that there was a windscreen on the front. Once I finally found that out, I went ahead and locked the audio because with the windscreen, you don't really need it in the wind reduction setting, and it sounded way, way better. So here's a little example of what that sounds like. Now, me personally, I really prefer how this sounds. The bike has a really deep, throaty sound, and more importantly, it's just not changing microphones as the clip goes on, which is really, really good. So super heads up thinking by Insta360 to put that windscreen on. I will definitely be running it in this setting. It just makes the bike sound dialed. Now with the new One RS, they also introduced the brand new active HDR mode, which is high definition resolution. It's the only camera on the market to come with that. And here's some footage of what that looks like. As you can see, it retains a little bit more of that detail in the super light and the super dark areas. Looks really, really good. Obviously it does eat up a little bit more storage, but you can't argue with how good that looks. I mean, this camera looks super, super great. Comes with all the other features you would expect. When the camera is off, you can tap the button on the top once and it will automatically turn the camera on and start recording. That's a great way to save battery, so you don't have to physically turn the camera on before you start recording, and then when you want to record, hit record. Then when you're done recording, hit the button, make sure you power it off. This way, you tap it once, it turns the camera on and starts recording. You tap the button again, stops recording, and actually shuts the camera off. That is huge. It gives you little chimes to let you know that it's turning on and turning off, so even when it's mounted on your helmet and you can't physically see it, you get a nice sound just reassuring you that it is filming or that you did turn it off. And so all around, they're just ticking off all the boxes that I'm looking for in an action camera. And then of course, we got to talk about the 360-degree lens, because that's what makes this thing so dang special. You know, it takes 30 seconds to swap out the lens just like that. It's now in 360 degree mode. I really like 360 degree footage. The creativity and freedom that it gives you is just second to none. It does not matter how you mount this on your helmet. It can be pointing completely the wrong direction. You don't have to worry about setting it up. You just click record, and then after the fact, you upload the footage either onto the Insta360 app on your phone or the Insta360 Studio app on your computer, and you have complete creative freedom. You can zoom the footage way out and capture your arms moving, the gas tank, the front fender, the sky, everything. You can completely change where the camera is pointing. If you pass somebody, you can have the camera follow them off to the side and then pan back to the front. You can do the tiny planet thing. You can put the camera on a selfie stick and make it look like someone's physically filming you, even if you're just by yourself. You know, you can set it up on the stick and walk around your bike while you're doing bike work, and it's just a very cool. And probably my favorite part about the 360 degree lens is the fact that you can completely change the aspect ratio after you're done filming. With a standard camera and the 4K boost lens, if you film it horizontally, that's how your footage is going to turn out. If you want vertical footage, you have to physically turn it while you're filming. But with the 360 degree lens, you can control that completely afterwards. So you can go out for a moto, filming with your camera horizontal, and when you get done, you can make a YouTube video out of that clip, uploading it in a horizontal 16:9 aspect ratio, because that's what YouTube uses. But then on Instagram and TikTok, things are turning vertical. So you can take that same exact footage, go into the app, switch it over to a vertical setting, and then upload the exact same footage to Instagram instead of having to go do a session with a horizontal, come back, flip your camera, go do another session. You can use the same footage to upload to any platform that you want to, and it's super simple. It's actually very fun to do, and the footage turns out so sick. So a ton of uses for the 360 degree lens. But the beautiful part is that when you're done with it and you don't want to use the 360 degree lens anymore, take 20 seconds, put the 4K boost lens back on, and you're good to rip. I mean, this is literally genius. Instead of me having to bring 2 or 3 cameras to the track, I can just bring this one and the extra lens and get all the footage that I need, and it just makes my life easier. It's at a great price point. It's got everything that I'm looking for in an action camera. Of course, filming content is my job, and I've gotten to use a lot of different cameras, and dare I say, this is the ultimate action sports camera. If you guys are looking to up your content game without breaking the bank, this thing is a really great camera to look at, specifically the twin package. Of course, I'll have some discounts for you guys if you use the links in the description. So definitely click on those links and check it out. If you're looking to get the best bang for your buck, you really can't go wrong with this thing. I'm gonna be doing a bunch of testing with this thing over the next couple months, kind of playing with more settings, dialing everything in. But for now, this was just an overview to kind of show you guys what's up and what this thing is capable of. You guys will have to let me know what you think of it. But yeah, this is definitely a sick unit. Thank you, Insta360, for asking me to be part of this. I'm truly honored and excited to keep using this thing. So thank you guys very much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.